So I promised a separate video on this Ariens mower that has the Tecumseh engine on it. And when I got it, the safety cable was frozen. And usually when I get safety cables that are frozen and I don't have one in the stash that I can put on one of my push mowers, or if the push mower is just so old that I'd rather save safety cables for newer, nicer mowers, what I'll do is I will use 2 zip ties in order to supplement for the safety cable. And it is much safer than messing with this spark plug or trying to take the boot off or grounding it off with your foot, in my opinion. Again, safety cable is definitely number one, and if it is working, then do not get rid of it. But if you have a bad safety cable and need a 5-cent alternative, if you don't want to buy a new safety cable, this is a good solution. This is a Tecumseh engine. I will show you all the Briggs & Stratton engine pretty soon when I get a couple of carb diaphragms in for some of my older Briggs & Stratton stuff. But you have your mechanism that pulls what used to be the cable back. So this is in the rest position, not being pulled. It is off, and then pulled here, that will be in the on position. And notice how I have the zip ties. First off, there is a spring that's going to be somewhere up along in there. I don't know if the GoPro can catch my finger, but there's a spring that you have to disconnect up here, so that there's not spring action on this anymore, that it moves freely, so there's not any spring action. And then what I do first is, and it works for Tecumseh and Briggs & Stratton, but I'll show you a Briggs & Stratton specific example a little bit later on a different mower. I'll have the first zip tie, I'll have a little bit of a loop on it, just so it's loose enough to where when I pull this mechanism back, that I can keep it in there and I can hold it, or that it holds itself. And then so what happens is, when I start the mower, and I'll show you a demonstration here in just a second also, but when I start the mower, it'll stay running, and then when I'm ready to turn off the mower, I just come around to the side here and reach under, or reach here, pull this up, pull this out, push this back until it turns off. And as you can see, my hands are away from all the hot portions of the engine. The exhaust is on the other side, and I've never been burned when I've done this. So again, pull it back, place the zip tie in to be on, pull it out, push it forward, wait till it comes to a complete stop, and then you can let off of it. So I will show you all a demonstration of how this works here, and get this little Ariens mower running. So I've got the zip ties to where the mower is in the on position, and we will crank it up and I'll show you how to turn it off when it is running. Runs pretty good for it to Tecumseh anyways, but yeah, here we come on the side of the engine. Now, push it back, turns right off. Again, my feet are a good 10 inches to 2 feet away from anything spinning. Definitely safer than pulling off the spark plug boot. I'm never in the mood to get shocked, so, and neither are the folks that I sell these mowers to. Again, I sold a bunch of them like this, probably a good dozen to 15 that have had this mechanism between Tecumseh and Briggs & Stratton engines. I just show them how to turn it on and off, and they usually don't have a problem. Again, wouldn't recommend if you have children cutting the grass to do that. And if you have a working safety cable, I wouldn't recommend you taking the working safety cable off to do this. Again, this is an alternative if you have a bad safety cable. And you want to spend about 5 cents on fixing it, and making it durable and making it still relatively safe. Again, I'm going to put a Briggs & Stratton one up as well, so look for that pretty soon. And decent little Ariens mower here. The Tecumsehs are, they're okay engines. Carburetors are the bad apples on them. Put a new carburetor on it, and for some reason it's already got a little bit of a split in the primer bulb, but it works as it's intended, and the split hasn't gotten any worse. Decent little Ariens mower here. I wish the self-propel worked on it. But again, hope y'all found this informative, and thank you for watching.